Hello everyone, this is intended to be a quick video review of the differences between the Planet X Genesis standard versus metallic version of the Omega Supreme featured in the War for Cybertron video game. There are three primary differences between the figures in terms of what you get. Number one, first and foremost, as you can probably tell, there is the metallic paint which has been applied thoroughly all over the metallic version of the of Omega Supreme here, and of course it does look very, very nice. Really almost covered, I think, head to toe. I really like it. The second difference, which you may not immediately notice, is the head, or at least the head that I have with my standard version. The eyes are actually blue on this, which is kind of cool. I guess it looks more like an Autobot you might see, and I don't even recall what color they were in the video game. But if you look at the new metallic version, the eyes are all one color, which is looks like it's an orange color. And the third and final difference, in terms of what I can tell, are the boxes. There are some significant differences. There are some similarities as well. The metallic version on the right, you can tell in the top left-hand corner, it's been stamped with metallic edition, which is helpful. But you notice that the original version, at least the one I have, is actually a little bit larger, and there's some differences for that. So I'm going to pause the video and I will be right back. Guys, we're looking at the boxes again, and as I mentioned earlier, the original Genesis box was, it does appear to be larger. It actually is larger, but there's a couple reasons for that. Well, the primary reason I would guess is that this is a better box for display. You can actually display the Genesis figure by opening up these panels, and these are attached by magnets here, and it has some nice artwork here of the bot mode, also of the ship mode. And let's go to the other side. What's here? Okay, so it's just the back of the actual robot, and just another shot of the ship mode. And you probably already know by watching other videos out there that there's actually the base mode, which you can actually convert this into. And you can see here it's got this nice shell inside, so if you want to go ahead and display your figure and keep it dust free, this is a great box to use to do that. But if I flip it around, there is another big difference here, is that you see that on the back of the box, at some point, Planet X stopped featuring this artwork on the back of their box. So for Genesis, it is on there. You can see this really kind of beautiful artwork that they put together or commissioned. It's really, really amazing in terms of, you see all the cyber glow going on, and to see the firepower of Genesis here in a battle. You can imagine it coming right out of the game. Whereas in the metallic version, they've kind of standardized the box display with just basically showing the front of the figure, the back of the figure, or the arm section. That's usually what they will do for the more recent releases. But if you are a box art collector, or you really, really like this, that perhaps the standard version is the best one for you. If you're planning on just keeping it in the box, that might be a better one for you. I don't know if the secondary releases of Genesis, the first non-metallic version, also feature the same artwork. Perhaps if you know, you can comment below, and I will be right back. This is an example of some of the box art which at least at one point Planet X was including with its products. You can see, of course, Genesis is on the left, and then you have Apocalypse on the right. Apocalypse was a 2-box shipment, so that's why you see the line down the middle. But if you do have the space to perhaps display some of your boxes, this might be something that you would be interested in with the standard edition, or at least the one that I have, versus the new metallic version. If you're just a box art or a box collector, then maybe you would go with the original one again. Both versions of Genesis come with the standard instructions, and also there's a collector's card. One of the differences is that the first box that has a looks like it just kind of a plastic clamshell, whereas the metallic version and most other Planet X releases now are shipped in this this very protective foam packaging, which does help stabilize everything during shipment. It's pretty resilient, so that's just I guess a design feature that they did use. And one thing they do have in common is, of course, these little lights, that are quite ingenious. They actually plug into the sides of the figures to give kind of a cyber glow effect, but they're stored in both of these boxes. Okay, here we have some scale comparisons of the different Omega Supremes. On the far left, we have the MFT Dragon. This is a Legend scale Omega Supreme that is about 9 inches to the head, 11 inches to the wings. Both of the Planet X Omegas stand approximately 14 inches to the head and then 16 inches to the wings. And then the Siege Omega Supreme stands 21.5 inches to the head and approximately 23 inches up to the top of the wings. For another scale comparison, I'm going to try to put Combiner Wars or United Warriors in the middle of all that just to show you the scale. And I think Combiner Wars or United Warriors are usually about 12 inches to the head. Okay, I brought out some additional figures here for color comparisons. On the far left, you see Planet X Vulcan, which is their version of Grimlock. And on the far right, of course, you see Planet X Pluto, the metallic version. And I want to kind of look at the similarities between the color scheme on the Planet X Dinobots, the original versions anyway, and there are also metallic versions that are out there. I think 3 have been released so far, or 2 have been released, 1 is coming out. But the kind of the tan color, brown color here really is an exact match. This is kind of like a khaki color plastic. All of the Dinobots, the original versions, have the same color. And also the kind of brownish red color that you see here, it's almost an exact match of what you see on the plastic for the Planet X Dinobots. I don't see any major differences, even like the metal version or the gray looks to be identical or close enough with what you see in the original Genesis. Whereas if you look at the differences between the metallic versions of Planet X Genesis versus the Planet X Pluto, the grays are different. So I guess you can call it like a steel color on the chest is different than what you see on Omega. It's kind of more of a darker gray, which almost has a hint of a blue in it. And then you see the darker gray on Pluto. Again, it's like more of a dark chrome or black chrome color. So they're not all exact. They did take their time in terms of trying to make it look different. And also the gold that you see here, there's no comparison because Pluto doesn't have any gold on him, but it's really intense, really well done. Most of this figure, I think, is painted. Even the shoulders are. You can tell all the arms. And if you switch over to the middle and take a look here, you can see how, like, even on, basically all of the plastic that was like a khaki color has all been painted with this nice gold. And even the red, it almost has like a cracked metallic look to it. It's kind of hard to explain, but if you see it, it's really well done. It's really nice and shiny. Even on the tanks or the tank heads, you can tell that the gold that's painted on the visor is much more intense on the metallic version. And they painted the actual body here, and they even painted the wheels metallic red. The cannon is painted metallic red, versus on the original version, it's just all bare plastic. So hopefully you find the comparison interesting or helpful if you are in the market for these two. One other thing is I would mention is that it does feel like the metallic version. And again, maybe it's just because it's newer, or it wasn't transformed as much. But the one I have, it does feel more sturdy in hand. It's not as wobbly as the original. And both of these I actually purchased secondhand, so maybe that's just my particular version of this. Maybe you have some, and it's much sturdier. And I will mention one other thing, which is kind of cool about the Genesis and also the Apocalypse products, is that they have these light up lights which go into, like, the arm, for example. You could put one in the chest and also the other arm, and they also go into the sides of the legs. But one thing I haven't figured out is, like, how do I change out the batteries? If you happen to know, you can put a comment below. I'd be kind of interested in seeing what you've have learned. But overall, I hope you found the video to be interesting or helpful, and have a good day.